Hello everyone, this is Backstage IMG and welcome to our new episode. And today in our episode, we have Dr. Sharan Jhaveri. He's a close friend and he's also a founder of Otto Research Organization. And with the help of in this organization, he has worked extremely hard and guided so many IMGs for their research work. And that's why I thought that we invite Sharan for our first guest of our podcast. And Sharan, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, hey Karan, thank you for having me. First of all, I've been following your podcast pretty closely. I think you guys are doing an amazing job. So yeah, Karan and we go back a long time, and I myself, I just graduated last year, and I've been working. I founded the Auto Research Initiative with a friend of mine, and our goal was to, like essentially change the status quo of how research is approached, especially in our circles. We didn't know that, when we started it, we just wanted to create a change. Uh, it's become a movement now. I mean, there's nobody happier than the two of us. Yeah, I mean, other than that, I, I'm just a curious kid at heart. And I'd love to share what I can with everybody here.
That is actually at one point is very correct that when you guys started, the research was just like a small flame, but now it has like become a movement. Like a lot of IMGs are focusing on research now, and that is actually a good thing. And because based on this, I my first like thing that I wanted to ask you was like I since I know you since a long time, so I know that when you started doing your research, you were in first or second year, I think, and you had collaborated with some of your professors. And right now,
Yeah.
like at that time, some of your professors had guided you about how to proceed with the research. And right now, you are the one guiding the people. Yeah. So how that transition from from a second year student knowing like a zero thing about research and now uh, having being a founder of an organization like and guiding so many how that journey has been for you.
Okay, so I think that's a very good question. And I'll be very honest. I remember the first time uh, we we launched our teams, like officially launched our teams. It was in September or October of 2021. And before we were gonna launch, I was kind of scared because everybody feels that imposter syndrome, right? Everybody thinks that, okay, how how is it that I will be guiding somebody? Like, what do I know? Because up until then I was being guided by professors, and at that time I was still an intern. But I think so. I'll tell you what. Whenever you come across things like this, right? Whenever there's a chasm that you have to cross, you have to do the thing that scares you, and you get the courage to do it after you've done it. That's the way I look at it now, right? Because look, if you want to upgrade yourself and you want to, sort of start playing at the next level, you have to first start playing at the next level, and then you will, become comfortable. The first few times, it's always going to be a bit scary. It's always going to be a bit nervous, and it will require a lot of courage on your side. But I think after you try and you make mistakes also. You fail, you make mistakes, but then you learn and eventually you get the hang of it. And then you grow confident. And that applies to pretty much everything, it's not just research, it's pretty much
That
anything
is
that you want to do.
actually a right thing because I really noticed I have seen your journey from your just foundation of the your organization and right at this moment like you have come a
Yeah.
long way. And the another question I had, and this is like what I've observed like about when I see so many IMDs doing research. A lot of people provide IMDs with the guidance of how to do research in exchange of course, some they charge for some fees. and you came up with an this different idea that I will guide the IMGs about how to proceed with the research. And in turn, I will also help them write their paper, and I will be included as an author myself. So, where did that idea come from, and what was the process behind it? Did you Because
So,
the thing is,
so
like,
what
a
we did there
a
was,
person can either charge fees or find an innovative way in which they can help themselves with IMG too and help the other IMGs also in the process. So that was actually a very good idea. And was there any
right.
process behind this type of mentality, and or that is what I wanted to ask you?
So first of all, when I started Auto with my co-founder, I believe I'd already published like 8 papers, presented in 20 plus conferences. So I was well versed with how this whole process goes. And when we started Auto, it was always about like essentially what both of us felt was that literature reviews are at the bottom of the evidence pyramid. If you look at it, literature reviews are the most basic kind of uh, research that you can do, right? That is not something that I think you should be paying to learn. That is what we felt. That it's actually something that's very basic. It's something that everybody should know, right? But you should not be paying exorbitant amount of fees just to publish a literature review. And we thought that okay, let's start with this, let's do something. But because it required an immense investment of time and energy for both me and my co-founder, we decided that okay, you know what, um, let's let's do something. Let's make sure that we get compensated for our time in a different way, right? And another thing that I noticed was a lot of these organizations abroad, especially, what they would do is like you would have one resident and they would essentially employ medical students and tell them that, okay, you do all the work and
So
I
it's
will be the
basically
first
like a
author
scut
in
work.
the paper, right? Yes, which is, in my view, it's kind of unethical. That's why me and my co-founder and any of our papers, we never take the first three authorship positions. Because even though we're probably working harder than everybody else on the team, since we're editing the entire manuscript, we're teaching, we're doing everything, right? And we write parts of the manuscript ourselves as well. Right. It's not like we're sitting and giving orders. We always contribute to the manuscript also. So that serves as a model for the rest of the team so that they can sort of learn from what we have done. Essentially, it helps them approach their topic better. Right. And that's what we had in mind when we started. That we don't want to make this like a business. It's an initiative, and we want to bring about a change. And I think that philosophy is why Auto has come to where it has come to. Because a lot of organizations launched in the past, they come up, they do a few papers, and then they fizzle off. But because the intent is never to help. That's the
That
problem.
is
Auto has
actually
always been
that
different
is
in
why
that
I
sense.
like this your point a lot, that you said that you actually invest in the manuscript rather than giving orders to the people, because I feel like if I see my mentor
Yeah,
actually working alongside me in my project, it will
there
actually
you go.
be a very like it will I will understand the approach what I have to take.
Motivate
And
you.
I have seen a lot of IMGs, and
There you go.
it's I'm not I won't pick any names, or in fact I don't know any names, but I have heard a lot of IMGs that they are guided by people how to go about the research. But any research, if I talk based on my personal experience, is something which is learned only by doing it practically rather than taking order from someone. And I am sure that when you were doing research, there must be like a lot of like trials and errors, and after that you because it is bound to happen, especially if you are. In fact, if you are having first 10, your first 10 publications are going to be like you are going to spend a lot of time and lot of energy in it. After that, you will start getting some grasp about how to write the manuscript and proceed with that. So I think it's better if someone alongside
Yeah,
me is participating in the project so that they can guide me in which part to go. The fewer the errors, the faster the learning there will be. So I think that is a good point.
totally. We get our hands dirty. We like getting our hands dirty. That's the way and because we do that, our mentees look at us. They look at us finishing deadlines, even though we're operating like 8 teams or 10 teams at a time. We find time in our day to sit down and work. So when we're putting up a standard like that, that kind of motivates everybody else in the team to put their best foot forward. And that I think that's a really cool team building exercise also, that if you have somebody who's training you, helping you, everybody wants to put in their best.
And
And this
this
forms a
is
positive
actually
feedback
right.
loop.
But I had just one question, and this question is going to be a bit personal. And I wanted to ask that question since long time. But
Hmm.
but since it is like related to research,
Yeah.
I thought of asking it in podcast. So basically, you said that initially you have to take the leap in order to gain the
Hmm.
confidence. You have to do it yourself, and then only you will gain the confidence that now I'm able to do it. So, like, was there a transition, the
Right.
transition point from where you stopped being a student and started being a mentor? That transition point, did it occur due to like any particular reason, or was it like a gradual thing for you? Slowly by doing it, you got the hang of how to do it, and then you thought that maybe this is the time I might try to guide other people.
So look, like I said, I've been working in research since second year of medical school. And I've worked with professors, doctors, worked with a bunch of people. Now, when my co-founder and I, before we started Otto, we had worked on a couple of literature reviews ourselves. And once we did like two or three, I think by the time we did our fourth one, I realized that okay, you know what, this is something that we can actually we can do this. Like this is something that we can teach other people also. It's not that complicated, but because there was no set path, or there was no set pipeline for uh, people to sort of come in and learn, right? So that's how we came about creating it. And I tell you, like you said, there is a difference between doing research yourself versus te- taking the responsibility of six other people or eight other people and teaching them. That is always going to be there. But like I said, when we launched our first six teams, even we were scared because I was in my internship, right? I was going in the morning. I'd go for my COVID duty. I'd come back, and then we would be guiding people. Okay, you know what? Do this, do that, do this, do that, and a lot of that comes from experience also because I have written manuscripts before and I have worked with other people, so that kind of helps. That kind of creates the foundation. But it's it's only after we finished like one or two projects and we saw the project go all the way. And you look it up in PubMed and you see, it's publishing that paper. I didn't feel proud that, okay, we published that paper. What I felt most proud about, and even today, what I feel most proud about is when you see people who don't know anything about research, you take them and get their names into PubMed and get them published. And not only that, you see them
Yes,
publishing papers even after they stop working with you, and they continue. Like there are
that's
people, I
good.
think there are
That's
people
great.
from Auto that have started their own initiatives, and they're teaching other people. Right? So like that is what
So
more
what I hear is
as a
a
teacher, what
mixture
more
of
would you
three
want,
things. Yeah, sure, sure.
right? So that kind of so no, so again, so basically. That transition comes when once you take the leap of faith and you're in that process and you will encounter
The
failures, but when
confidence
you
builds
start
up.
winning a
Yes, the
little bit,
confidence builds up.
you get slowly you get more and more confident in your own
So
abilities.
I see a
Exactly,
mixture
and
of three
then that
things,
kind
which
of
is
crescendos
a
and you
good research
can
experience, a
start building.
business mindset, and an intention to help, and an intention to help people.
That that's not
So
business
basically,
mindset,
yeah.
that's
So the
Gujarati
three
blood,
things,
that's what
like
it is.
last one was intention to help people, of course. So now, like since we have talked
Hmm.
about the
Yeah,
research and auto
that's
and
always
everything,
there.
I want to bring our conversation to our last like segment of the podcast, to today's episode. And today, and this in this segment, I want to discuss about the things we had discussed earlier. We might have discussed earlier on the phone or when we had met, and this is probably like how, as an IMG, we should approach the research. So this is first, before hearing your response to this, I just want to let you know about
Okay.
what I personally feel about this thing, and I just want to, then you can correct me if I am wrong in any whatever I say. So I think as an IMG, or as an any, in fact, as an any medical student, whether you're an IMG or anything, you should first of all, if it is there is this fact that research is always appreciated. If you have done it, it would be appreciated wherever you go, because it is an experience of a lifetime. But I am at the same time, I feel like uh, as an IMG, if you are doing a research, make sure that when you are doing it, you are doing it because you are genuinely interested in it, not because you want to get matched, and solely for the purpose of getting matched. Because like I feel like it is, if you do it solely for the purpose of getting matched, then probably it's not going to be your like it's not going to reflect your full potential. But if you are doing it because you are genuinely interested, like I know Sharan since second year, and Sharan had started his research uh, before even taking a step or doing anything related to USMLE. So and right now, even when he's preparing for his exams, he's so much into research, and he is actually planning to do continue this research when during his residency and even after residency too. So if you have this kind of mindset, it shows that you are genuinely interested in this kind of thing,
Absolutely.
and it reflects your true potential through your papers and through your publications, and your hard work is shown, like it gets shown to the people. So lot of IMGs, I feel like, because like I think that even I was the example of this when I had started some things when I was in second year, and a lot of the people around me, I think Sharan can might relate to it, that they were doing that publication, that conference, or so many things they were doing, and we think that I am lacking something, and we also do it in that. So we also do it. So, what I am saying, what I mean to say is,
100%.
research is not something
Yeah,
that will be absolutely necessary for your match. It will help you for your match. It won't be necessary for your match. That is what I'm saying. So, if you're interested, you go for it, but don't do something just because everybody else is doing it. So, Sharon, if you want to just talk about it.
yeah. So look, there are two answers to this question or this topic. The long answer, you know, we have a podcast on Spotify called The Otto Side of Research, right? And that's where we basically give our perspective about exactly what you just asked me right now about how you should think about research as an IMG, or how or we basically share a perspective. And I'll give you like the TLDR version of what we said on that podcast, right? Look, first of all, um, why is research even important, or why is it relevant to you as an IMG? Yeah, it is because the US, the UK, or in fact any of the Western countries that you're trying to get into, they focus on evidence-based medicine, right? What that means is they are experts at telling us what is going on in the body. So, and they are the ones who design the trials. They are the ones who do the RCTs. They are the ones who tell us, okay, this works and this doesn't work. Now, if you as an IMG can contribute to that process in
Yeah.
any way whatsoever, that makes you valuable to the system. Okay, that's why research is important. Now,
Yeah.
if you need to go from point A to point B, now, and I
Not
think
every,
Karan, you
in
just
fact, a
came
lot of
back from your
institutions,
electives,
like
right? You would agree
majority
with
of the
this.
community
Not
programs
every
in US,
physician
they
in the
don't have
US is
this
a
research
big time
facility. So,
researcher,
they are,
correct?
yeah,
Not
lot
everybody
of
is,
community programs in US are like that.
precisely, right? Right. But so what does that mean? It means that if you want to get from point A to point B, you need to know how to drive. You don't need to be an F1 driver. Right? You don't need to know how to drive an F1 Formula car. If you do not like research, it's fine. You don't need to invest 6 years into it. Okay. Because even if you do, and if you don't enjoy it, you're probably not going to do a good job anyways. But it is important that you know how to drive, which means it is important you know the basics so that when you're practicing, you understand, you can keep up with the literature. You understand, okay, how these trials work, what is the evidence, if the evidence is presented to you, are you getting scammed or not? Those things, to a large extent, like USMLE tries to teach you that through biostats and drug ads and all that. That is a version of it. But if you actually go out and do, like, even if you do one good original study uh, in your like school life, you will learn a lot of these things on your own, and they will stick with you, and you will have clarity for a very long time, right? So that is how you want to look at research. Right. So if get the basics, understand the basics, and definitely try out a few things. If you enjoy it, great, go for it. If you
So
don't
yeah,
enjoy
that is
it,
right.
do something that
Basically,
you do
yeah,
enjoy.
this is
Don't
actually
do
a
things
very
that you
good
don't enjoy.
point
Life is
because
too short for
yes, research, like it is going to be important if you are practicing even at a non-research based hospital, because ultimately when you are going to treat patients, you might need to get the latest updates by referring to the papers, and you should know how to approach the papers, how to like read the data, have the like interpret the results or
Exactly.
analysis, and these are just the basic stuff that it is expected from a physician. So so
Exactly. Yeah. I'll give you one last thing. Yeah, and this is something I've been thinking about. See, in majority of the world, like in most parts of the world, medical education happens through textbooks. We read textbooks. Right. What are textbooks? Textbooks are essentially summaries of what literature is out there. But that's not how medicine works. Right. Medicine is not built like it's not a block of information that you come in and you read and now you know medicine. When you're actually practicing, what happens is you have an idea and you think of it and you design it and instead of an entire block of information, you might just add two sentences of knowledge in the world. But we don't know that because we've never really thought about medicine in that way. Like so medicine is actually it's kind of like building it's like one Lego block over the other. And every trial, every research paper gives you a little bit clearer idea. Some of them they will take you in the wrong direction also. So you have review papers to correct yourself. So that's why if you involve yourself in this process, you will understand how medical knowledge
that
is
is actually
actually,
very correct
you
thing.
know,
And
how you
just
actually
I don't
how is
want to
medicine
waste much of
actually
your time,
built.
so this is just going to be
That's
my
how
last
I visualize it.
discussion point. It's not a question, but discussion
Okay?
point. So basically, what I have observed in recent months, like
Okay.
a lot of IMGs, they've been contacting me and messaging me, and like they were seeking advice from me how to proceed with research. And I observed that a lot of IMGs are starting with the research with this mindset that they should have a topic. That topic should be a very like advanced topic, which like although the IMGs are maybe in med school, maybe in third year or fourth year of their med school, and the topic will be very advanced. And if they have decided
Hmm.
to work on
Hmm,
that
hmm,
topic,
hmm.
well, the manuscript that they write or the analysis that they do is such like the way of writing the manuscript. Sometimes it gets so advanced for someone, but I have realized the good researches that I have seen over my lifetime, like maybe I'm not saying that everything like every research has a advanced topic. I'm saying that the topic can be as simple as it gets, and the manuscript writing can be in a very simple language. What matters the most is that what you have writing in the manuscript and the topic that you are choosing is actually a topic that is contributing to the medical field in some way, and the manuscript that you're writing is actually able to convey the information that you are providing in a very effective way. So it doesn't mean that you have to choose a very high advanced topic for your research or a very complicated words or to write in a manuscript. What matters the most are these two things that I said earlier. So, Sharan, if you want to like say anything.
Yeah, yeah, dude. I'll tell you the number. If I had like 10 rupees for every medical student who wanted to do a meta-analysis as their first research project, okay, I wouldn't even need to practice medicine at this point. I'd just be sitting rolling in class. Right?
So, yeah.
And
So if that
here's
is
why
what
that
I'm saying,
happens
like
because people are
the thing that
obsessed
you told
with
about
results.
meta-analysis, people think
They don't
that
care about the process,
meta-analysis might be a very
right?
good idea,
So
but and as you told that literature review might come into the bottom of the thing. But if you see that a lot of your literature reviews are getting published in international PubMed journals, PubMed index journals. So that doesn't mean that the literature review, even though it's about in the research itself, is not up to the mark. That just means that the literature review is written so
yeah,
precisely that a journal which is in PubMed, which is at international level, has decided to uh, publish this in their publish this article in their journal. So what
except I'll give you one more thing, okay? Who do we think we are? We're MBBS students, right? We're medical students. It is literally our first or second effort in research, right? If you ask, even if you ask career academics, when was their first paper published in like in a really high international journal like Lancet or AHA? You ask them when did they get that chance,
exactly?
that opportunity? Some people will tell you, or rather, most people will tell you that it is like a once in a lifetime or a twice in a lifetime chance for them, right? And these are career physicians. These are people who've been in the field for like 30 years. So for you to be sitting there at 23, 24, thinking that, oh yeah, my first paper I want to publish in the best journal possible is like it just shows a lack of perspective. Right. And that I think is what people need to understand. You have to start somewhere. If you start publishing if you do basic, if you have the fundamentals right, as you said, even if the topic is simple and the manuscript is simple, study design is fundamentally secure but simple.
The thing that
But if
you
it is
actually
done well
mentioned that people
and you
usually
publish
focus
it
on the
in a
results. I
decent
think
journal,
that a
as
lot
a
of
medical
IMGs,
student, that's
if
amazing.
like as an IMG, if
You
I keep
have
my
your whole
mindset
career to build
before
up
even
on
starting
that.
the result, if I sorry research, I think that my research is going to be published in Lancet. Before even deciding whether which topic I am going to choose, I decide the journal. Then I think that would be a very unfortunate incident for me because like the topic like and as an IMG, if you're
Yeah.
deciding to do a research and if you're finding a topic, don't choose topic don't find a journal before choosing a topic. First of all, as like Sharan and I had already talked, first decide which field you're interested in, which system you're interested in, which topic like actually generates a lot of interest in you, and search on that topic, see what advances have been made in that topic, what researches have been done in
Yeah.
that topic, and based on that, formulate your own questions. See if those questions are answered by previous literature, and then you can proceed with the research. And once you're done with this research, because you have genuinely worked on this and this is your interest, I am sure that that research will be published in a very good journal. And but
Even if it isn't, even if it isn't, it's okay. Because look, I have launched so many projects in my life that have completely just failed or just not worked out. It's just that you don't see me talking about it, right? And you assume that every paper I write or
that
every
is right.
paper
That is
Sharan
right.
launches is going to get published. So it's because you don't see that, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
just how academic medicine works, right? So about the topic thing, right? There are two. So I'll end with this, and then I think you can take it forward. There are two ways of going about it. If you are in a resource-rich environment where a lot of people are doing research, I would advise you pick a topic that you are genuinely passionate about and find people in that circle and work on it, right? But as the majority of IMGs, as is the case for majority of IMGs, if you do not have a resource-rich environment around you where a lot of research is happening, find people who are doing genuine research, right? And focus on the process. Don't worry about the topic. Learn the
That
fundamentals
is
of
right.
the process first. If you understand the fundamentals, your second project can be when you launch your second project, you can use what you learned and apply it there. But yeah, you need to focus on the fundamentals. And the best place to find like good fundamentals, especially in India, is your PSM department.
that is
Go to your
that is
PSM
actually how
department.
I started.
I am telling you this. Do one good project, one well-designed project under your PSM professors. Okay, they do this. They exactly, yeah, and again, that's one. Some of that comes from you, from seeing you, right? Because you know, see, the PSM professors, they do research. That's their bread and butter. Clinicians are not trained in formal research. Clinicians are trained to treat patients. PSM professors are trained to do
A
research.
good
So you
thing
bring
about
the
community
clinician in as
medicine
a subject
is
or a
that you
domain
have a
expert, but you
biostatistician
do the project under
there,
your
and
PSM professor, you
they
will get
will
far
actually
better
can they
results and
can
you will get
actually
far
guide you
more,
better regarding your
you'll get
analysis
much,
than
much
any
farther.
clinician available in the hospital. So this is basically
There you
like
go.
the thing about research that my last segment consisted of about guiding the IMG
There you
about
go.
how to proceed with that. And
There
I
you go.
think I covered all the topics that I wanted to cover in this podcast. And I thank you, Shar, for being here and, sharing this information with us. And I would, I would wait, and I'm eager to invite you in our next podcast, and I hope like
Anytime. It was a
it
pleasure.
happens soon, and all the best
Absolutely.
for your exams too, and hope to see you soon. Okay, fine. Yeah, I'll just
I'd
end
love
my
to
call.
be back. I'd love to be back. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hope to see you soon, man. All right. Bye bye.